fine, okay. Hello, everyone, and welcome. We'll call a meeting of the Madison City Commission to order for the meeting of August 6, 2012. Jeff, would you please call the roll?
Commissioner Delzer?
Here.
Commissioner Erickson?
Here.
Commissioner Waldner?
Here.
Commissioner Abraham? Mayor Hexum?
Here. Yeah, the minutes of the July 30th meeting is a part of your record. Are there any changes or corrections to the minutes of the last meeting?
Make a motion to approve the minutes. Second.
Motion is made and seconded to approve the minutes of the July 30th meeting as prepared. Any questions or speaking? Hearing none. All in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, no. Motion is carried. You have the agenda for this meeting before you. Are there any changes to the agenda?
Yes, sir, Mr. Mayor, I have one change I'd like to make. I'd like to withdraw item number 5, the resolution 1215, the land and water conservation grant request.
Okay, new business number 5, remove resolution 2815 from this agenda. Okay. Any other changes? Could we have a motion to approve the agenda as amended?
Make a motion to approve the agenda as amended.
Second.
Motion is made and seconded to approve the agenda as amended. Any questions or speaking? Hearing none. All in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, no. Motion is carried. We have no items listed under appearances, acknowledgments, and correspondence. We move to old business. We have one item listed under old business, and that would be the sidewalk request made by Jeff Pearson. This is continued from last week. Mr. Pearson is not here. He was here last week. The written request is a part of your record, and this deals with the construction of the sidewalk on the Memorial Creek Bridge near his property at 411 Northeast 3rd Street. And he was asking that he did not think that his responsibility involved the installation of the sidewalk and the maintenance of the sidewalk over the Memorial Creek Bridge at this point. The sidewalk is in. So I guess that we were all part of the conversation last week. Chad, we asked you to look at precedents on similar matters of other installations around the city. And were you able to come up with anything that was?
Yes, I was able to look into it to obtain a firmer opinion, I guess you could say, or a firmer information as to what was provided last week. And there were 2 locations that are matched this situation, whereas private land ownership adjacent. That was being assessed, and it was over a bridge. One would be on 9th Street. I don't have the year, but that was done about 4 or 5 years ago. And on Washington Avenue, and that was done just before I was here, but probably 3 or 4. And I was able to confirm that in these same situations that we did not share in the cost. The city did not share in the costs. Installing those over the bridge. I've coordinated with our attorney and believe that we were, legally, the assessment is binding, legal and binding. I think that's correct. And I do believe that the costs are substantially uniform for Mr. Pearson over the bridge. And unless there's evidence provided otherwise, I would recommend that we don't pursue a cost share for on that installation for Mr. Pearson.
Okay, so 100% of the cost of the installation would be carried by the private landowner.
Correct.
In this case, Mr. Pearson.
Correct.
Okay, and this then, I guess I had one question. It was probably answered last week. This is part of his property description.
Correct. It is adjacent to his property.
Okay.
That's how all the assessments work. They install the sidewalk in the private right-of-way adjacent to their property.
Okay.
And so, regardless of the fact that you know, it happens to go over the bridge. I checked with our attorney and indicated that that doesn't change the legalities of it. And then the other test that we have that's identified in these resolutions is it's substantially uniform. And I have no reason to believe that it's not substantially uniform.
And then the private landowner is responsible for the maintenance. In other words, snow removal and,
Yes.
you know, replacement of damaged sections and those types of things, okay?
Yes, it would be.
Mr. Mayor.
Any questions?
Well, I had not seen the appearance last week. I wasn't here at the meeting, but I did have some correspondence with the city engineer's office. And then I couldn't visualize, I was thinking that Mr. Pearson was gonna have to build a bridge, but I have since driven by there, and the sidewalk is in, and there is a part of the right-of-way, road right-of-way, that is basically just, you know, 4 or 5 feet adjacent to the highway, and that's where he built the sidewalk. Our policy has been that if the topography of the land is such that it requires a retaining wall or something, then we would pay, or we would contribute beyond what would be normal.
Over and above, correct.
Over and above, and in this case, I don't think there is any over and above costs, and that's what Chad had confirmed. So it's, I guess when he bought his property, it's kind of like buying a corner lot. If you buy a corner lot without a sidewalk on one side, you're gonna have a sidewalk someday, and you'll probably be paying for it. So that's the way it is. So I would.
Any other, if there are any other questions or comments, again, Mr. Pearson is not here tonight to further explain. He was here last week to explain his position, but I think we understand his question. So unless there's further question or comment, I guess we're ready for a motion.
I'll move to deny the request of Jeff Pearson as far as the city participating in the sidewalk construction at his residence, which I believe is 411 Northeast 3rd Street.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second then to deny the request of Jeff Pearson regarding the installation of the sidewalk and at the Memorial Bridge site on at his property location on Northeast 3rd Street, 411 Northeast 3rd Street. Any further questions or speaking to the motion on the denial of his request? Hearing none, all in favor of the motion, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. Motion is carried. Moving to new business, we have personnel recommendations, which are part of your record. Are there any questions on the personnel recommendations?
Make a motion to approve personnel recommendations.
Second.
Motion is made and seconded that we approve the personnel recommendations as presented. Any questions or speaking? Hearing none, all in favor of the motion, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. Motion is carried. New business number 2, bills for approval, bills for ratification.
Make a motion to approve and ratify the bills.
Second.
Motion is made and seconded that we approve and ratify the bills as presented. Any questions or speaking? Hearing none, all in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, no. Motion is carried. New business number 3, Resolution 2814. This is regarding the plat of Heritage Edition. You have information in your folder. Jeff, probably you would explain briefly what we have before us.
This is a standard copy of a plat, and that's typically goes, has this been to the planning commission?
Well, with replats,
Oh.
they don't need to.
Okay, this is a replat.
Right.
Right, yes, it is a replat. A property located on Center Street, just across the street here between Van Epps and Blanche. I believe includes the building known as Heritage High.
Chad, do you have anything further? I guess I can say that what we're doing here, or what Mr. Beckman is proposing to do, is that the Heritage High apartment plat be separated from Lot B2, which we would, most of us would identify as the ICAP building property, which was originally platted as one piece, and we're dividing that into 2 lots now, which is called Lot B1 and Lot B2.
That's correct, yep. The owner has, that's
Right.
a general accurate description of what it appears.
So instead of one piece of property, we now have 2.
Mhm. And this is a replat, so it
As a
doesn't
replat.
have to go before the planning commission, and I've coordinated with the owner to some extent, but more so his agents in creating the plat, and it appears that it and actually the electric superintendent, because of some easements you see on here, to assure that it doesn't create any non-conforming lots or any issues for our electric department for that. I would recommend approval of the plat.
And you said this does not go back to the planning commission. Our action is final tonight?
That's correct. On
Okay.
replats, as
Okay.
a couple of years ago, we tried to change the ordinance
Sure.
to more streamline it, and this one
Mhm.
step we removed from replat.
Okay, everybody understand the picture here, so,
And ICAP and everything's all okay with this? I mean, it's not gonna throw them off or anything, or
I haven't had any contact
any
with
other
ICAP.
landowners or anything?
I
Mr.
haven't
Beckman
had,
owns it.
correct, Mr. Beckman
Mr.
owns it.
Beckman owns
Owns all,
Right.
oh,
As
okay.
the, as the owner,
Got it.
so my main contact has been with him
Yep,
and his
yep.
agents, yeah.
Got it, thank you.
Yep.
Make a motion to approve Resolution 2814, the replat of Heritage Edition.
Second.
okay, the motion is made and seconded that we approve Resolution 2814 regarding the replat of the Heritage Edition within the city of Madison. Any questions or speaking? Hearing none, all in favor of the motion, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. Motion is carried. New business number 4, review landowners' request to extend sidewalk installation deadlines. Chad?
Thank you, Your Honor. The sidewalk resolutions of necessity, both for the inspection portion and the assessment portion, had included in them a completion date for the landowners of August 1st. This has been relatively customary that there's always some folks that are not able to get it installed, their contractors get busy and for other reasons. And so we coordinate with them and ask them if they're not going to put something in writing and share it with us so we can deal with that, and the commission can consider an extension request. Part of the reason I think it's important for that to be done is, you may recall, we have a contractor poised to put these in, and in that contract, we had indicate to them that we will let them know, I believe it's by this Friday or within a week here or so, of what work he has left to do, so to speak. And so we need to carve these out and acknowledge that these landowners are, well, the proposal is that the commission allow these folks to be carved out, and then we'll cut that out of our contractor's quantities and give him the go-ahead to go forward with the others. For the inspections, for the inspection resolution, there was over 200 instances of repairs that were needed to be done. Some of those by multiple landowners, or excuse me, by the same landowners. So we're dealing with somewhere less than 200 landowners for the repairs, and there's 9 requests for extensions for the repairs. And the others have either completed it. I don't have the numbers of how many have completed it, or they're going to have our contractor do it and then go through the assessment or reimbursement process that we've used. And as far as the assessments or the new sidewalk installation that has been passed in four different resolutions by the commission, there are 6 different requests here included for the extension. 3 on South Washington Avenue, 1 on North Summit. You may recall the school had also asked on North Summit and been granted already their extension. And then 2 around what I refer to as the Lincoln School area, 2 there as well. And so those are the folks who have requested the extension. I don't have a concern about extending those. You know, we did ask them to put it in writing. There is, I suppose, a little bit of risk that they won't hold up. In any time, you know, something could fall through and our contractor's gone, and then we say, well, they didn't do it. But I'm not concerned about that. I'm comfortable if the commission would choose to extend these with the various deadlines that they've requested in their notices.
We've received written notice then from all of the parties requesting extensions.
Correct.
Jeff, for the record of the meeting, do we need the names and addresses of those
That you're approving?
that we're approving the extension of requests
How many are
for?
there?
There's 15.
Probably wouldn't hurt.
Okay. Would you want to have those read at this
No,
time?
well, I don't need them read, but just.
Would be
so I
nice
get
to
a
put in
copy.
that, both the name and the extension date. I assume they're varying dates.
Yeah, many are at the end of August, but some extend into middle of September. Right.
I was going to say, for the benefit of the news media, if they
I
wanted
can.
that information, you could provide that to
I
them.
can subsequently, or I can now, whichever
Mhm.
you'd prefer.
Whatever you wish. I guess maybe since we are,
I can make copies and give it to them too.
yeah,
of these
would you
requests.
want to just read them now,
Yep.
Chad, because
Yep,
of the rebroadcast of the meeting, and then
sure.
the public will know the names of the people that we're granting the request to.
Sure. For South Washington, Mr. Ken Weedy requested to the end of August. Mr. Doug Cook had requested to the end of August to complete the sidewalk. Mr. Nick Pastrello, in the middle of August, is when he had requested on South Washington. Moving to the North Summit project, Jeff Amert and Kathy Amert have asked for a request. Theirs is more an indefinite request, but they have it lined up. I would say if we choose the end of August, that would be sufficient for that one as well. Around Lincoln School, 2 requests, one for Linda Schulte and Alan Crane together for that property, and then another one from Mike Briscoe around Lincoln School. Those are for the assessments, for the inspections, a request. Again, this is an indefinite date. Both the indefinite dates, Amert Construction, that will be doing the work. They didn't put that in there, but I would say to the end of August would be sufficient for that as well. Timber Supply, they've requested for, Amert has. Clark Sinclair, First Bank and Trust, Insurance and Real Estate Market, Hanson/Begeman on South Van Epps, Mike Clark on South Egan, and Hunter/Stephenson on North Egan. Those will be done by Amert Construction. Jason Martin has requested an extension until September 20th, and Mr. Erickson, and believe the end of the month is sufficient for that.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Mhm.
So there's no mistake, the Mr. Erickson referred to there was me in my office. I won't be participating in this vote.
Those contractors, the contractors, they just get tied up, and it's tough for us.
Yeah.
Do you have a problem if we just extended them all out to the latest date, September
I would-
15th?
I would say, if we choose September 14th, that's a Friday. I mean, that seems like a
That'll-
reasonable date.
Okay, if there are any further questions, if not, we are prepared for a motion then to accept the recommendation, to accept the recommendations for the extension of sidewalk installation and repair as requested.
I'll make a motion that we do extend it until, you said September 15th? Or-
14th is a
for-
Friday, yeah.
Okay, September 14th, extend the sidewalk installation deadlines for the people as Chad has on his record.
Second.
Okay, the motion is made and seconded that we approve the extension of sidewalk installation and repair deadlines until September 14th as requested by the respective listed and named property owners. Any questions or speaking? Hearing none, all in favor of the motion, please say aye. Opposed, no. Motion is carried.
Jeff, would you show that I did not participate? Thank you.
Maybe you wanted to give it.
I was gonna fall to my knees there, but
We'll approve everyone.
I knew
all
that
of
that
them.
wouldn't do any good.
Yeah.
This
All of them but
We'll
one.
give you 15 minutes.
Maximum 15 minutes.
That completes the items under new business. Under announcements and other business, the mayor's report for July is attached to your agenda there for your review, and if there are no questions about that, we have a request for an executive session pursuant to South Dakota Code number 1-25-2, parent 1, and we would then require a motion to go into executive session.
So moved.
Second.
Motion is made and seconded to go into executive session. All in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion is carried.